Like Jeffree Star would say, saddle up and get ready for the video. This is beautiful. I mean, I know he made this to look, or made this to look like, can't talk. I know he wanted this to look like a first aid kit, but it reminds me of VCR, which I am living for. 90s kids, raise your hand. And this is so cool. The leather, I know it's fake leather, but the material, the way it looks, the clasp, I think this looks so cool. He did such an innovative job on this, and it's very different, unlike other things I have seen. And in the inside, it does look like a safety first aid kit. Sorry, I'm blinding you, but look at this palette. I mean, so the reason I chose this look right here was because I wanted to do neutrals, but I also wanted to do pops of color. Because when I looked at this, I wasn't expecting so many neutrals. I was like, wow, I could do total everyday basic looks. But I can also do crazy, fun, bright, colored looks like your girl loves to do. So I mixed them both together so every party, every person would be happy and could see how this palette worked. You know, I am not like Jay Kissa, so I tried to use as many colors as I wanted. She would literally put 30 colors on her lid. If I did that, it would look like diarrhea. So I tried my very best. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel. And I think that's it. Let's get into the tutorial. Starting out this tutorial, we're going to use the Makeup Revolution concealer. With the shade Glucose, we are now setting that concealer just to prime our lids so the colors are nice and bright. So if you notice I'm talking quiet, it is because my husband is sleeping in the other room. So the first thing that I notice about this palette is that there is a decent amount of fallout within the shades, which isn't a big deal to me, but some of you might care. Okay, so I really wanted to showcase the neutrals and the brights in this palette. So we're going to start out with the shade Sugarcane. I think this color is going to be my new favorite transition color because it blends so smoothly and it's very neutral. It's not quite cool, but it's not quite warm. Okay, so we're going to start off with the neutral side first, and we're going to go with the shade Cake Mix. We're just going to blend this into our transition shade, just to start bringing in some warmth. After that, we're going to go in with the shade Ouch, and we're just going to pack this onto part of the lid and the lower crease and just kind of blend that all together. And I am using a Morphe M433. These are blending beautifully together, like no problem. They blend like a dream. So now we're going to go in with the shade, I think it's pronounced Intravenous, and we're going to be packing this all over the lid. That color is beautiful. I'm literally barely having to do anything, and these are just blending perfect. Okay, so your eyes should look a little something like this, and we're going to leave it like that for now. We're going to go ahead and move on to the other eye. Other lid, I guess. Okay, so we're going to go in with the shade Tongue Pop. Just going to kind of start buffing that into the shade Sugarcane. Okay, so you know your girl had to go straight into the pink shade, so we're going to go in with Cavity, and we're just going to place this all over the crease. We don't really want to see that tongue pop, we just kind of wanted it to be a little bit of a blending color, but we don't really want it to stand out. We want it to mold together, the pink to just go right over the top of it. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the shade Root Canal, which I think is the most like beautiful purple shade, and we're just gonna make this a little bit lower and start adding a lot of definition, because this look is gonna be very blended like this, just gonna slowly go down into darker colors. This Root Canal shade blends so stunningly into Cavity though, it's gorgeous. Okay, so next I want it to have like a dark base like this side does, and so we're gonna go in with the shade Extraction. I'm just gonna make this even a little bit lower, and we are gonna put some of this on the lid. This is seriously like the most gorgeous red berry shade. Like, I'm living for it. Ooh, I think this might be my favorite shade so far. Okay, so we're gonna make this even a little bit darker, and now we're gonna go in with the shade Coma. Now, I don't see any difference between the neutral shades and the pinks and purples and reds for how they're blending out, which is really amazing, especially since these are vegan shades. That can be very difficult to do, and he did an incredible job. Okay, so I'm happy with how this is looking, so we're going to go ahead and wipe the under eye, do our foundation and concealer, and then we'll get back to the lower part of the lid, which is how we're going to tie these two together. One thing that I want to point out is I did not put any color in this inner part, and it's just chilling there, so I had to add some over here. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so my skin is very dry today, so we're going to go ahead and use the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer. I'm going to put that all over the skin to get ready for the foundation. So I just deepened that up a little bit because I noticed there was just like one little patch of coma, but like all the pigment had left, which sometimes can happen with these types of shades, so we'll see if it fades in another like half hour or so, or maybe I just didn't put enough on. So we're going to go in with the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I did just do a review on this if you'd like to know my thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Makeup Revolution Concealer. So I'll tell you right now, this right here, I've already cleaned that up and the pigment is back. So there's something about this shadow that kind of shifts, which is really weird. We're going to go ahead and set everywhere I put concealer with the Kat Von D Lock-It powder. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go in with the Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics liner in the shade, what is this? Hoochie. And we are going to line our waterline. So anyway, this is going to be too light for us, so we're actually going to set it with the shade Coma, but I didn't want to go into the black because then you wouldn't be able to see that red tone that we're going for. Okay, so taking this tiny little Morphe brush in the shade Coma, we're going to start buffing that out. We're going to take a brush just a little bit bigger and go in with Extraction, just to kind of buff that out. So we don't want to take anything too low because we're blending all this together. What we're doing is we're doing this on your lower lash line. So it's the same thing, it's just very compact. So we're going to take the shade Cavity now. Yes, Cavity, the pink one. We're going to bring this even lower. Guys, see how pretty that is? Gorgeous. I'm obsessed with these colors mixed together. We're going to take the tiniest bit of root canal and just blend that kind of in between everything. Okay, so now that we have that, we are going to stop and we're going to move on to this side. So this is the Palladio liner. It is a lip liner actually, and it is in the shade Rum, and it's a very reddy brown, so I think this would... Why am I blurring so much? I think it would be perfect in the waterline on this side, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to take that shade in Travis, I think is how you pronounce it, and we're going to pack that on the lid. Okay, so we're going to take the shade in Travis. This color actually blends really well in there. It almost looks kind of berry. So now we're going to take the shade Ouch. Now I'm going to take the shade Cake Mix. The next step is liner, and you all know if you've been following my channel for a while, I cannot do my liner on camera. Okay, so now that our liner is done, we're going to take the shade Candy Floss with the Morphe MB18 brush. We're just going to put that in the inner corner on both eyes, just to tie in a little bit more of the look together. See how that really tied everything together even just a little bit more? I literally have like 6 brushes on the floor. I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm just throwing them or what. Okay, so what we're going to do, which I haven't really done before, I think I've done it one other time. We're going to take this Trooper liner and we're going to add a little dots on each side of the eye. And I'm hoping that I don't mess up this entire look. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a little circle right there, just like that, just to kind of see where I want the other one just to match it up. Okay, that is not working, so I'm gonna go grab a gel liner real quick and we're gonna try that because I think that's gonna be a little bit easier. Okay, so we're just gonna take this MAC gel pot with the Wet n Wild liner brush and we're gonna try this. Just dip the tip in. This would be so much easier to do if I didn't have wrinkles. I am trying to challenge myself to do new things, but my goodness, it takes so much more work and it is so hard, and these YouTubers make it look way easier than it really is. It is time for lashes, but before we do that, we are going to do our upper line just to make sure the liner is all blended in. I'm going to use the eyebrow slash eye pencil from NYX, which I like it because it doesn't transfer a ton. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the Rouge and Rogue Lashes in Slayer. The moment of truth. So we are gonna bronze the skin with the Hourglass bronzer, which is my new favorite bronzer. It is so good. Especially if you're someone with dry skin, you are going to love this bronzer. We're going to take it back OG and use the MAC 109 brush, and we're going to contour with the Kat Von D contour kit as usual. I haven't used this brush in a long time. We're going to use the shade Rock from Benefit for our blush. Oh, didn't tell you. We're using the Jeffree Star Princess Cut highlighter because we're going to do all Jeffree today. This is one of my favorite highlighter shades. Oh, it's so pretty. And I'm using the Morphe M501, which you guys have seen me use 1,000 times. Gotta highlight this nose to hide this terrible foundation job. I almost forgot my brows. My brows. Great. I hate doing my brows with lashes on because I can't really do them. So we're going to do a really chill brow, and we're just going to run the Urban Decay brow pencil through it and brush them straight up and go for that nice messy brow. My lash just decided to pop off in the inner corner. Ugh. Oh no, the entire lash decided to just come off. I am praying to the Lord Jesus himself that these lashes stay on. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. brow gel and brush my brows straight up. You can't really go wrong with this. We're just doing a messy brow. Okay, so we're going to set the skin with the Make It Forever Mist and Fix, and then I'm going to show you 3 lip options. So the first option is going to be the Jeffree Star I Am Nude Liquid Lipstick. Alright, this is lip option 1. If you're someone that thinks this eye look is already bold with the 2 tones and you want to do something a little bit more neutral, I Am Nude is going to be perfect. The second lip option is going to be Prom Night by Jeffree Star. Okay, so this is lip option 2, nice and dry, and this is for someone that wants to go super bold. I wanted to pick a lip that is totally out of my comfort zone and something that I would never do, but I think it looks really fun with this eye. And the third and final option is both of them mixed together, which is my personal favorite and why I picked it as the final look. I just love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you did, comment down below, and I will see you guys next week.